talking very quietly because although it's not super early in the morning, we had a late night last night. George was working late, so I'm talking quietly because I don't want to wake him up. I want to let him sleep a bit longer. But I've just finished making my to-do list for today. So this evening we are hosting some friends for an autumnal dinner party, which I'm very, very excited about. We haven't had a lot of people to the flat yet, so it's going to be really nice to actually have a whole group of friends around this evening, and we're going to be cooking a really nice homemade dinner for them. I've already decided on the recipes that I want to do, so I've done the major to-do list now, and I'm going to go back and make myself a grocery list. But when I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed by big tasks, I like to go through and just list out every little thing that needs to be done today, and on paper this actually doesn't look like that much. So I feel like this is very doable, especially because me and George are going to be divvying this up. I've got my to-do list here, and I'm just going to add on the bottom anything extra that I think of, and then make a big shopping list for the grocery store because we're low on a lot of things, and we're also making things that we ordinarily wouldn't have in the house. So I'm going to do that and finish my coffee. I'm still really enjoying using the vanilla and cinnamon coffee syrup that I made in a previous video, but if you decide to make that recipe, I will say remember to give it a stir because it can separate a little bit and the spices don't stay as combined. Nevertheless, it is a lovely addition to my morning coffee, and I have really been enjoying that as we're getting further into October, which here where I am, the weather has managed to stay really, really lovely for the most part. It's been one of the best autumn weather times that we've had for a long time. It's been mild but not too mild, lots of sunny blue sky days as well as nice drizzly ones, so it looks like today's going to be another beautiful blue sky day. So as I said, I am going to sit here and enjoy my coffee and finish planning for today, and then I will check back in with you when it's time to go grocery shopping. Food shopping. It went pretty well.
Couldn't get a trolley.
But we managed. I thought I would talk you through the planned menu for tonight, and you as well. So you know as well.
Yeah.
So we got some really nice big pasta shells. Is it conchiglie if it's big? The big pasta shells, and we are gonna make or I suppose I'm mostly gonna make a butternut squash, like a creamy butternut squash.
Conchiglione.
Yeah. It looks really good. Gonna make like a creamy butternut squash sauce. I'm gonna roast that with some sage, garlic and thyme, and then brown off some butter and caramelize onions and mushrooms. Add a little bit of fresh chili. Don't want it to be spicy, just like a bit of freshness, a bit of warmth, and then we're going to add a little bit of cream and parmesan.
Pecorino.
Because it's I never remember the name for pecorino. We've got pecorino because we're vegetarian, and then we're going to have it with green beans, like sautéed on the side, and some roasted veg, and then we're making apple crisp for dessert, which I've not made for a very long time.
With vanilla ice cream.
With vanilla ice cream, which our
not
friend...
making the ice cream.
which our friend is going to bring. So we're going to divide and conquer the remaining to-do list. Which is mainly cleaning and tidying up the flat, and then starting to prepare some food.
I'm gonna be the cleaning guy.
Head cleaner over here, and I'm going to start preparing the pasta sauce. So... shall we get to it?
Let's do it. Don't leave me hanging.
Oh, sorry.
Rude.
So this is the butternut squash, an entire massive pan full. I'm going to add 4 garlic cloves, a good glug of olive oil, salt, a generous helping of black pepper, dried oregano, smoked paprika, and some crushed chilies, mixed spice. So this is cinnamon, coriander, nutmeg, cloves, pimento, ginger. A little bit of ground coriander, just a tad. And then I'm going to add some fresh thyme and sage. I'm not following a recipe, I'm just going off vibes. I'm going to put this stalk in there, put flavor, and then rip in some sage leaves. Added chestnut mushrooms. I'm about to add just 1 bird's eye chili, just for a little bit of heat. Well, warmth more than heat, really.
Hello friends, you might be able to hear George in the background doing some dishes for me very kindly, but we are just finishing up stage 1. I've just finished the sauce for the pasta. I'm going to cook that fresh and warm that through once people are here. Phase 2 of course is prepping all the vegetables ready to roast them, and I also need to make an apple crisp. But I thought I would just share with you some decor that we're doing. I haven't bought anything, and I specifically haven't bought anything for this. I'm using stuff that I already have. So we have some pine cones that we have popped around a couple of taper candles that we always have on the table. And I've got out from storage these tiny pumpkins that we have had for a few years. And then I also got out from my Christmas box, my friend gave me these little cute ceramic mushrooms. So we've got this one, then we've got this design. So they're all like the classic toadstool colours. Then this one as well, which I really like all together. So we're just placing those around, and yeah, very much didn't want to buy anything specifically for this. I'm reading My Hygge Home by Mike Wyking, and I'm also listening to The Little Book of Hygge on audiobook. And something that's really resonating with me is this idea of embracing that it's the people that you're spending time with, and the act of socializing and spending time with loved ones is what it's all about, really. I just realised I'm looking at the complete opposite end of where I'm supposed to be for filming, so sorry if I've been not looking at you this entire time. But yeah, I think it's really important to remember the reason why you're doing hosting. Sometimes hosting feels really, really overwhelming for me. I'm introverted, I'm a naturally anxious person, and I've been reminding myself throughout today and kind of in the lead up to this that the main goal for this is to just have a lovely evening with friends and make some delicious food. It doesn't have to be perfect. The decor doesn't have to be Instagram worthy, Pinterest worthy. I want it to feel homey and cozy, and I want it to feel like people are welcome in our home. So yeah, I've been really enjoying leafing through this book, and I'm going to take just a quick 20-minute break to rest before I get back to cooking and preparing for this evening. So yeah, I just wanted to remind you of that as well, because I think it's so easy to get lost and caught up in the reason that we're doing things, and yeah, it's not for aesthetics, it's for the people that we love. Oh, there's nothing like the mid-afternoon dip of energy. And then I've sealed the deal by getting under a blanket. I think it's time for a rejuvenating cup of tea and then crack on with everything, because people are arriving at 6:30. So we have 2 hours to do everything and get ready to receive guests, which is definitely doable. I'm gonna see if George will help me make the apple crisp. Oh, so cozy.
That was that.
I'm keeping that in. George, can you show them? George, can you show them?
No, not that one. Yeah.
Nice! Got the base of the apple crisp sorted. George has very kindly done the topping, and that's in the fridge. Prepped all the green beans and lots of roast veg ready to go in the oven when people arrive. I've changed into a slightly fancy top. I don't think anybody else is going to dress up, but that isn't going to stop me. I love this top and I love wearing it every year. So the to-do list is looking very much complete. The only thing that I pretty much have left is to get myself ready. I'm not going to do very much, but if I have time, I'd like to paint my nails one of these colours, and I'm just going to put a little bit more makeup on because pretty much everything I was wearing this morning has since come off. So I'm going to do a little bit of eye makeup, a bit more blush, and call it a day.
this video so far this morning and I realised that I never actually concluded it properly last night. So we have just been out for a really beautiful autumnal walk, possibly the most autumnal walk I've had so far this year. It was kind of grey skies and cloudy, a little bit of drizzle. The sun has come back out now, classic autumnal weather, and such a nice cool breeze just blowing the most beautiful crunchy leaves around, all these different shades of red and yellow and brown. It was just so lovely. I feel very refreshed and I am warming up now with a delicious cup of tea. So in terms of last night, it went really well. The food was delicious. I'm actually going to put kind of like a simplified version of the butternut squash pasta recipe in the description, because I know I put it kind of in the video, but it's probably not the easiest to follow along with whilst you're cooking. So yeah, the pasta was so good, and the apple crisp went down a treat as well. I used somebody else's recipe for that, so I'll link that down below, but I would highly recommend it. It turned out really good. And I suppose most importantly about last night is that I had an absolutely wonderful time catching up with friends. Hosting can often feel really daunting to me. It's something I've always kind of struggled with. I've got to this stage in my life where I feel like being daunted by something or stressed out by something a bit isn't a good enough reason for me not to do it if I really want to do it. Every single year, pretty much, I have a image of a small dinner party, a lovely dinner party on my vision board for the year, and year on year it's become easier and easier. I've become a lot more comfortable with initiating or hosting people in my home, and yesterday in particular is the first time that George and I have hosted in this flat, and having him help me and just be a supportive presence was so lovely. I very much appreciated that. I'm so glad I was able to take all of you along with me. I hope it kind of felt like you were being invited to my home for some dinner, especially because I know we're heading into that time of the year where many of us just are struggling a little bit with the lack of daylight and just feeling gloomy and overwhelmed. So I hope this video felt like a warm hug and perhaps helped some of you that aren't quite as fond of autumn as I am. So yeah, it went really well, and I would so encourage you to invite your loved ones over for some good food and company, or even just a cup of coffee and a packet of biscuits. Spending time socializing can be so fulfilling, and I feel like the turning point in feeling comfortable with having people over was just remembering and reminding myself of the reason that I'm doing it, and that is that I want to have people over to spend quality time with them. I want to have those human connections. The things I usually feel really overwhelmed by or stressed out about are things that really don't matter all that much. It's things like wanting everything to go smoothly, or making sure that people are talking enough, or everything looks beautiful and tastes perfect. And that's just not the heart of why I'm doing it. I just want my guests to feel really welcome and safe and looked after in my home, and the rest doesn't matter all that much. I know many of us aren't able to be with loved ones right now for whatever reason, or maybe you haven't quite found those people who you treasure yet. And from someone who completely understands that and has been there, I just want to let you know that the right people are worth the wait and that things will be okay. I am sending all of you a big hug. In fact, I hope you can feel it through the screen. Thank you so much for being here, friends. Take care, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye.